All right. So, we should be live right about now. And I hope that you guys are ready for an exhilarating stream. I mean, I guess exhilarating is kind of not the right word for it, but we're gonna have a fun stream. And we get to talk about our favorite person in the book that I have of very special people. We have the Animangos man, the anime man as most people know him. And he's done a thing in some of these videos. Obviously they're going to be a little old because it's hard to keep up with the current weird things that they say. So um before we get started, I do want to tell you guys that I don't have the stream the thing, yeah, super chats enabled, only because YouTube is very strange. A very strange person. Yeah, he is. But YouTube, they take out a lot of dollary dues, and so in order to circumvent that, I've opened up this link that is in the description, which is to the Streamlabs. So if you ever feel like doing that instead of the super chats, which are obviously disabled, then that's an option. But that's enough corporate shilling for me. It's time for us to get into the meat of the fucking situation here. And so we have this video today about yanderes, and I hope you guys are ready for an experience.
How's it going, everyone? This is the Anime Man.
I don't know why he does this at the beginning of every video. He's done this in over 100 videos. And we don't know that his name is the Anime Man yet? Or maybe we don't know that he's going to be in the video?
So, Yanderes. If you've been in the anime community for quite a while now, then you're most likely aware of these very specific character archetypes.
By the way, this will be a little informative today, because the Anime Man, I love that AniTubers use this thing to collectively talk about the anime community, as though they're not in it, but maybe they are, but it's a weird thing to say. So, the Anime Man in this video is going to tell you about a yandere, a real-life yandere, and how the internet is, taking it not seriously.
For the 1% of you otakus who perhaps don't know what a yandere is,
By the way, he says that otaku is a slur.
a yandere is a person, usually female, romantically obsessed with someone to the point of using violent means to get them in their arms, often seen with a sharp weapon and a psychotic grin. Thank you, Urban Dictionary Sensei, always here when we need you the most.
I like that he uses Urban Dictionary as though it's this brimming light of hope for him. I mean, it does have really good definitions there. I will give him that. But it's just kind of weird that he always brings them up and never anything else. I just find that kind of weird. But yeah, he wears shirts, very very strange shirts. If you ever go to his merch page, which we'll talk about later, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about.
The Japanese word originates from the combination of the words yanderu, meaning sickly, and dere meaning love-struck. You put those two together and it essentially equates to a girl, or a guy sometimes, who is so love-struck that they're almost considered sick. In other words, in English, it is what we would often refer to as a crazy bitch.
I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you, this right here is the epitome of just how you make a video so you can dangle the keys in front of all those special boys and girls in your audience that can't watch the video on its own.
I mean, the general consensus of yanderes, at least in the anime community, is that they are female. You got your Yunogasais, you got your Fuyo Kaedes, but sometimes not all yanderes are actually female. In fact, in my opinion, some of the best written and most well-established yanderes are in fact male, but I mean, that's just me.
I think that Joey is trying to come with terms. Trying to come to the terms that he is not exactly the straightest pole in the shed, if you will. He's someone that is afraid of his own heterosexuality, that he just won't come out as gay. That's just my 2 cents. It probably doesn't really add anything to this video. I just thought that should be known, that's the thing that he does. I'm thinking that he's just kind of afraid to admit that he just might be attracted to guys, which no one at this point really cares.
But regardless of who you personally think is the best or worst waifu, boy or girl in all of anime, it's always been a general understanding that these yandere character archetypes have always just been seen as this fictitious caricature that has been birthed from the fucked up mind of an author or some kind of individual.
Okay, so that's kind of weird that he brings this up, because no smart person would ever think that this is only exclusively to anime. There are people in real life that just don't talk to people, the deadpan characters that you probably see, or something where there is a girl that just might like a guy a little bit unhealthily, and that's perfectly fine. Those people exist in real life, but he talks as though they don't exist in real life. Like, why does he not think that they exist?
I mean, let's be real. There's no way that someone that fucked up and mentally unstable actually exists in real life, right? Right?
The acting chops on this guy, I love it. So the thing about this comedy of his, he aspires to be a model, actor, musician, a bunch of things. So
Well, unfortunately, it seems that Japan just had to debate us once again by really proving us wrong on that fact.
okay, this is also another point of contention. He says that this is a Japanese thing, but it's not really just related to Japan. It is actually all over the world. But we'll stick around and just see what he has to say, because I have some things pulled up that I think would be worth the read, and I think you guys will actually like it.
Woman accused of stabbing male acquaintance. I loved him so much. For fuck's sake, Japan.
Okay, so let me just vent a little bit. Why does he hate Japan so much? He has a series called What the Fuck Japan. He has this thing where he talks about, oh, well, the internet loves this real life yandere, and it's only exclusive to Japan, apparently. Does he know that other places outside of the world of Japan exist? Or is he just being that way because he's a special wheelchair symbol?
At around 3:50 p.m. on May 23rd, Yuka Takaoka allegedly used a kitchen knife to stab the man, aged in his 20s or 30s, in the abdomen inside the 5th floor residence. The man was transported to a hospital where he remains in serious condition, according to the Shinjuku police station. Officers later accused Takaoka of attempted murder. During questioning, police learned that the stabbing was likely the result of a problem within the relationship of the suspect and the victim. Since I loved him so much, I just couldn't help it, Takaoka was quoted. After killing him, I too wanted to die. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, a real-life yandere. Can we get a round of applause for Japan just being fucked up as usual?
See, again, it always circles back around to, oh, well, it's Japan. Isn't that crazy, wacky Japan? Like, it's not just exclusively Japan, Joey. In fact, I have some things pulled up here just for that. Do you know, I don't know if any of you are of the age to actually know this, but you guys might know of an individual called Charles Manson. Charles Manson was a person that had a lot of female followers, and he would target those who were hungry for a connection. You can kind of watch it a little bit. They have it pulled up here on the thing. But if you go down to it, Manson used to seduce a lot of women to come to his side, and besides the fact that he was a violent murderer, I mean, was that also in Japan, or was that just, in our imagination? It's kind of weird that we can bring up certain cases like this, and apparently it's just not in Japan. Maybe he's just taking a different stance. Maybe we're just taking him out of context. I guess we'll see.
Stigmas will truly never disappear. As well, Takaoka and the victim were in the lobby of the residence upon the arrival of police on May 23. Images that have emerged, warning both are graphic, show a person believed to be Takaoka, her legs covered in blood, talking on the telephone as she smokes a cigarette with the victim's body collapsed behind her. Now, obviously, I am not going to show said photos in this particular video because, let's be real, YouTube Summer will definitely not be happy about me doing that, and I just generally don't want to scar your precious little lives.
Trust me, people that are watching this channel have probably seen much worse, or maybe they haven't, because they think that Emergence is like the worst thing that you could possibly read. I don't know.
But suffice it to say that these photos weirdly aren't the most disturbing thing about this whole story. Sometime after the news broke on Japanese
By the way, I'm going to show you like the actual pictures of these because I have it pulled up.
TV, a bunch of people on the internet discovered the culprit's Instagram account, where she had uploaded a total of 22 photos of her at her workplace, some of them just really standard natural photos, as well as a number of photos of her cosplaying in different outfits and anime characters. Now, you attentive otakus might be like, who are the anime characters that she was cosplaying? Oh,
This is gonna, if you've ever been to an anime convention, prepare to cringe real hard because this is about to get very real very quick.
you know, just your standard, harmless, innocent, and totally not fucked up in the head characters like Himiko Toga from My Hero Academia and 02 from Darling in the Franxx. You know, totally normal characters that have absolutely nothing to do with yandere tendencies or being overly love-struck by their interests or anything like that. You know, just totally standard, normal anime characters that clearly have a stable mindset.
Okay, alright. Okay, so, chat, I don't know if you've ever seen any of these shows, I'm sure most of you have. So, I don't know why he brings this up either as a point of contention, because it's weird to me. It's weird to think that people can't cosplay a certain character because the character has done crimes of some sort. Which is weird because that means that these people in this video here, by the way, if you ever want to go look it up, it's this is Anime Expo 2019 best cosplay stuff. These people here must be murderers. She must have stabbed a bitch or something. I mean, according to him, if you cosplay these characters, you yourself are probably insane, which is a weird leap. That's a weird stretch, bro. I don't know why he would bring that up. And just to further this point, let me just show you the pictures that he's talking about. This is the picture from her Instagram page where it shows her dressed up as 02. Now, that means that any woman, or man, I guess, if you wanted to go that route, if they wanted to cosplay a character, they can't cosplay certain characters because Joey said that that makes you a violent murderer, probably, maybe, because they share things. They share the tendencies of being an insane person, but this was obviously before she decided to go out and stab person. But that's a weird point that he brings up.
Nothing to see here, folks. Everything is fine. But oh, ladies and gentlemen, it does definitely not stop there. 2 days after the incident, there was a Twitter post on Japanese Twitter that kind of went viral from a particular gentleman named Mamo. Now, Mamo, for those of you who don't know, including myself because I had to look this up, he is the lead singer of a quite infamous visual kei band, Arishite, which is a band that is clearly very popular with the ladies considering the whole visual kei nature. And on said Twitter post, he showed off a particular package that he had received from a fan that day that he thought was a little bit suspicious. And let's just say it's probably even more disturbing than the cosplay photos you just saw. It was
Okay, so I read into this a long time ago. If you really want to know what exactly I do in my free time, some of it is looking up the things that exist in Japan, like the reason why there are certain regulations and things you can't show on Japanese television. Even things like Charlie Sheen getting sued because of the depiction of Ichi the Killer, which, if you ever look that up, it is a very it's a very insane story. It is not for the sane-minded, and when I looked it up, I think it kind of changed my outlook on a couple of things and how you view the outside world at the nighttime. So, in this part, he's going to bring up this other person who is absolutely mentally insane, and no one's saying that these people can't be insane, but Joey thinks that this is restricted to just Japan. He thinks that this is restricted to just the things that he sees, because if it's out of sight, then it must be out of mind.
was a single notebook with the words "I love you" scrawled all across its surface, with one line reading, "I love you so much I could kill you." When opening the book, there was a number of pages filled to the brim with the words "I love you" scrawled across its pages, with the last couple of pages being filled with "I love you" written in blood. No.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. People are obviously insane, and no one that I could see They were praising, no one was praising that.
This is not a movie stunt. This is not some kind of joke. This, ladies and gentlemen, is real fucking life. Now, currently, as of the recording of this video, it has not been confirmed whether the person who sent that note is actually the killer in question in today's video, or if it's someone who was inspired from said crime and decided to do these ridiculously heinous acts. But in all honesty, whoever it was, I don't care if it was the culprit or someone who was inspired by the culprit, it really doesn't fucking matter. Because here is the biggest gripe I have towards this entire story, and is really the entire reason why I'm making this video at all.
Okay, I bet you, well, trust me guys, I've already seen this video like 5,000 times, but I do know that he's going to bring up a very particular thing in this, because he wanted to make this video for you, the Animengo community, and this is what he's going to use to say how disappointed he is in you. Kind of like the other video where it was about the people sending death threats, the quote-unquote death threats to the My Hero Academia creator.
It's the fact that there are a significant number of people on Japanese Twitter and English-speaking Twitter, as well as on Instagram and on YouTube, who are actually praising and admiring this girl for her heinous acts.
Okay, first of all, they're not admiring her for her heinous acts, and this is the part of the video, chat, if you wanted to know. This is the part of the video that we get to dissect because it's fun. So, the anime man doesn't know what memes are, apparently. Or he just reads into things too far and he doesn't understand what they really mean. So, like this frame right here, gimme stabby wabbies? He thinks that this is real? He thinks that, gimme stabby wabbies is, these people are idolizing her. Oh my god. Yandere, the real in Japan. They're not even speaking like proper English here. We're taking them seriously? She really was Yandere. Like, does he not know, like, oh my god, my head actually kind of hurts just from thinking about this, and I've seen this a million times, like I said. But it just strikes me as a little odd that he can't spot the apparent joke here.
Girl for her heinous acts. If you go to any of her Instagram posts, you go to any YouTube video discussing and covering the topic of the news, or even any news articles that allow people to leave, user comments on it, you can find a shockingly large amount of comments saying how this girl is so adorable and how this girl is such a waifu, how I want this girl to stab me in my sleep too, I want this girl to stab me during her cosplay too, oh my god, that's so hot, that's so awesome, it's like a real life yandere. And look, to be honest, I don't know if I'm going to be the first person to come onto camera to say this, but there is something that I would like to say to all of the people who have left comments like that on, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, or is anyone who hasn't left a comment but is kind of egging on this mentality of admiration. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Everything in the past, minute that we just let this run, it really encapsulates how great he is at thinking about things. So he's mad at people for leaving obvious bait, troll bait, comments, and this is apparently the highlight of the entire video, where he can't tell that someone's being ironic. I'm pretty sure that most people, if they're not mentally damaged, would not actually want to be stabbed, and I think he misses that very important detail. I think that he probably just needs to, understand the bigger picture here, but I don't really hold out much hope for him. In fact, I would say that if Joey wanted to make this argument about, well, there's some weird edgelords out there that want to leave these comments about how they would get stabbed, that's kind of cool, but let's have respect for the dead. That would be a little bit better than, you trolls are perpetuating this. Of course, that's what he does.
They say that it's not good to kink shame on the internet because, humans be how humans be. Some people are into really weird and, subjectively fucked up stuff that other people aren't into, but hey, you can't commit a thought crime as well as you can't punish a thought crime. People are just into weird shit, and that's that. Let's move on.
But technically, you're accusing people of having a thought of wanting to get stabbed, apparently.
But when it comes to this particular instance, I have to tell y'all motherfuckers to just stop.
Is it because it happened in Japan, Joey? Is that what we're going to make this based off of? Is it happened in Japan, so you guys gotta stop it. But all those other murders, those are perfectly fine.
I don't know what the fuck you might be thinking when you leave comments like this and this.
Best waifu, best girl ever. Obvious fate. You fell for it. You fell for the marketing scheme, Joey.
But may I softly remind you that this girl almost killed an innocent man. I don't give two fucks if you think Yuno Gasai or Toga is your S-tier waifu or anything. This is real life we're talking about. This is real people's lives in danger. And
no one's doubting that, Joey. No one's saying that they should have been stabbed. No one's saying that they could have been stabbed. We're saying that it's a joke, and obviously he's not a fan of edgy humor, as we can clearly tell. And that's kind of why, if, like he said, if you go to any of these posts, you can kind of just see it right here. These people, best wishes, guys, please stop. I did a lot of research and found out that he was a boy and she was a girl. Can I make it any more obvious? He goes on the left, she stabbed him with knife. What more can I say? Like, this escapes him because it's humor. He's not a person that is down with the maymeis, so it is not far out of the realm of possibility for Joey to actually think that this is serious. He seriously thinks that people are saying these things with the utmost importance.
And this woman you are supposedly admiring or thinking is attractive is a legitimate psychopath. You don't believe me? Look at this picture of her being detained in the back of the police car after she got arrested.
Yeah, she's mentally insane, Joey.
Can you honestly tell me that a normal person after being detained for murder would possibly be smiling like this in the back of a police car? You are literally admiring a psychopathic killer. Do you realize how that is not okay?
Well, she doesn't live here in the Americas, so yeah, I could probably see that. But again, it's just the maymeis. In fact, I don't see why he would bring this up, and we can look at the article ourselves. There's a couple of them that I have just waiting for us here. 21-year-old Japanese woman from Shinjuku District, Tokyo, was recently arrested after she nearly stabbed her male acquaintance to death in her apartment. Now, if you go through virtually any of these entire articles, you'll see something that is akin to this. Felt cute, might stab my friend later. And it's the same picture I showed you. It's the same one. People don't know that jokes and edgy humor can be a thing. They're funny. Now, is there a such thing as too soon? Maybe. But, I mean, it was a contained deal. The guy lived. I don't see what the issue is. But then again, I mean, I guess I'm not in that position to really say one way or another. But you could even go here. This is the victim that she tried to stab, and he says that he holds no grudge against her. And he kind of goes on to explain. You can kind of just read through the article here. But he explains everything that happened and how we got to that point. And he said that he killed it after, no pun intended, he killed it after she stabbed him because he's had the most profitable career that he's ever had. He's been able to make a lot of money, and he even reunited with his older brother and sister because he was in the headlines. So, of course, there's a silver lining to this, but of course, Joey wants to make this all about you weebs are fucking ruining everything. Can't you see? It's supposed to be about me.
And you know what pisses me off the most about all of this entire thing in general, is that I guarantee that when traditional media and organizations, these big organizations who see this story and get a hands of it, look at it and think, what might have been the cause for all of this, they'll most likely point to one thing and only one thing: anime. It's constantly been the target for so many different weird crimes all over the world, and it's always been the easiest solution to any kind of strange problem.
By the way, I was actually researching this video a long time ago. This screenshot, I want you to just take a guess here about what's wrong with this picture. Don't worry, I'm going to spoil it for you. Virtually all of these are the same story. It's just they have a different timestamp. Right here, Florida Uber driver accused of molesting a 3-year-old, blamed anime. Same thing, it's the Florida man that blamed anime after he molested a child. Child molester caught for, touching children inappropriately. I mean, most of these are the same thing. These are just articles about, manga and anime blamed for crime back in 2015. and then something about the Russian state media accusing that. So he has three of the same story in just this one picture to prove how bad anime is.
Problem. Oh, there was a weird murder that happened? Yeah, blame anime. Oh, there was a weird robbery that happened? Blame anime.
This is a lot of straw man arguments here to be made.
Oh, there was a crime that happened that has nothing to do with anime, and just because the person was wearing an anime t-shirt, yeah, blame anime. Clearly, it's all anime's fault.
Um, it's weird to me. The straw man argument made here that anime is to blame for things, but he couldn't give us any actual examples besides like one actual thing that happened, which was the same story three times. So either he didn't do research or he wanted to try to shift the blame to say maybe you shouldn't make fun of the stabby wabby comment because it kills people. Or
I mean,
almost.
look at these cosplays. Clearly, the reason why this insane, crazy bitch committed a murder or tried to commit a murder is because she liked cosplaying and dressing up as these girls who are okay with committing a murder if they have to.
By the way, since he wants to bring up the fact that cosplaying and being these characters that are not real, by the way, if he wants to bring that up, then he should also bring up that certain anime conventions in your local city, they make a lot of revenue from the weebs. So in the case of Los Angeles, when they have Anime Expo, they bring in millions upon millions of dollars to not just the city, but to the organization that runs it. So essentially, if you want to have another anime convention, sometimes it's better to go there in person. And there's more times than not going to be someone that's cosplaying as Zero Two or Toga because I've seen them at every one that I've went to. This is a weird statement to make.
So clearly the reason for this entire crime is because of this, right? Like, it couldn't possibly be some kind of mental issue or anything that we could possibly try to solve. Any person with a brain would be like, no, of course not. They're not gonna blame anime for this shit. What are you kidding me? But I guarantee that that's what's gonna happen.
Did it happen, Joey? Because in the entire arguments that I've ever looked at, even the articles, none of this ever states that anime was responsible. It was never brought up. It was never a topic. So I think that you're talking out of your ass again because no one blamed anime. Not even the people when she got stabbed. She never said, "Oh, well, I wanted to stab him because I was cosplaying as suicidal and murderous characters." Are you kidding me? Is this a real thing?
And let's just say that all these fucking retards with anime profile pictures leaving comments like this and saying, "Oh my god, she's so cute. I want her to stab me in a toga cosplay," is really not driving home that fact any quicker.
Again, they're memes. I don't think Joey's actually spent any time on twitter.com, but entirely on Twitter are people making maymeis. There's people, if you go to the most recent thing, if I can probably bring it up on screen here. I didn't plan to really look at it, but it was about the one guy that used to do Mythbusters, I believe. If you ever take a gander at it, it's pretty interesting. So here's what happened on the Twitter today. Adam Savage of Mythbusters allegedly raped his sister as a kid. Lawsuit. And this woman, Zini Jardin, who claims that you should believe all women, says, "I know Adam Savage, and I know this is false." I made this snarky reply, "Guards, this woman has lost her composure." I think it was very well placed, thanks to a good friend of the channel that sent me that picture in the first place. But you see, my point is that people will always laugh at stupid people on the internet. That's why people laugh at me, because they think I'm stupid. But we definitely think that you're stupid, Joey. We think that this is... I don't know what this is.
Seriously, this is why I sometimes really fucking hate this anime community. I don't think some of these kids realize the actual severity of this entire thing.
So I like that this is also a blanket statement of, I sometimes hate the anime community. Just say you hate weebs and move on. Just say you hate them.
Maybe because it happens in a distant land of ramen land that they've never been to, or, never thought about actually existing in real life or whatever. But let's just say that if this crime happened to, say, you, or someone you were very close with, say, someone you knew, a friend of yours that you had, then I guarantee you wouldn't be going onto the internet and saying how adorable this girl is for being such a yandere, and how you want her to stab you in a toga cosplay because that's what gets you off at night.
Okay, that's an awful comparison. because no one knew these people, for one, and two, even if they did know these people, even if we wanted to assume that we knew these people for at least 5 minutes prior to the events that happened, why does that matter? And sure, you could make the argument that people don't know how they would react if something like that happened to them or a friend of theirs, but I guess that's too far outside of the realm of thinking for you, Joey. People aren't saying that you can't talk about these things. In fact, the guy, like I said, was pretty upfront about what had happened. He said that he didn't hold any kind of, hatred towards this woman for stabbing him, and we also kind of established the fact that she is mentally insane. No one that is actually normal in the brain thinks that they should probably go stab people. Now, here's one more thing that I wanted to bring up, and it's a kind of a thing that I guess you can call it, like an article of sorts. And it's why some people in nonviolent relationships kill their partners. And if you kind of go down through here a little bit, you can kind of see where the relationship between offender and victim by motive in homicide cases shows in these charts. And if it's a conviction and a hate thing, it's usually a stranger or an acquaintance. But if they're romantically involved, because even he claims that as well, you can go down here to love. And oh, look it shoots all the way up, close to an intimate partner, but just a little bit in the Filicide. So it's not far out of the realm of possibility for people that are attracted to each other to have this happen, but also it kind of depends. You're on the internet. People are going to post things regardless of how you feel about them. That's how it is. That's how it'll always be, and I prefer it that way, actually.
Night. Like, the double standards in this entire case is fucking ridiculous. What, just because she's attractive or good looking, it's suddenly okay to do something like this? Because I guarantee that if, say, a white dude were to have done this, or even an old Japanese woman were to have done this, then you definitely wouldn't be jacking off to your yandere fetishes now, would you? Now,
I think people would probably laugh. They'd be like, "Grandma stabbed someone? That's fucking amazing." Or if they saw a white dude, I mean, that happens more frequently than you believe. Again, maybe because it's not in Japan, he doesn't care, or maybe he just doesn't understand internet culture. But people will always laugh at things that happen. I don't know why he thinks that the internet has to be this super safe place. It's not a safe space. If you are not thick-skinned enough to exist on the internet, then you probably don't belong here.
Now look, I'm obviously blasting the fuck out of this culprit for doing such a heinous crime because it is heinous, it's unforgivable, but more than anything, I'm blasting these fucking kids and these just brainless people on the internet who think that this whole caricature, this whole real-life yandere situation is okay or even admirable and attractive.
No one's oh my god. No one's admiring her. They're making the funnies. I don't get how you can't see that, Joey. This is clearly a case of people laughing at this situation and making jokes about it. Sometimes people cope a certain way. I know that coping mechanisms are, it's a touchy subject depending on who you ask. But someone like Sophia Narwitz, for example, she put out on Twitter that she was a victim of being raped before. And so she then kind of jokes about sexual assault in such a way that it doesn't define her, it doesn't own her. So that's what some people do in order to cope with that kind of thing. But apparently coping doesn't happen with Joey unless it's him, because reasons.
Just because you think that Gasai killing dudes in Mirai Nikki is attractive, that doesn't mean it's okay in reality, guys. These
Oh my god.
These are the lives of real people we are dealing with here, not just some scribbles on some paper. And it's fuckers like you who continue to put a bad name on the anime community and is a reason why it's still just as hard as ever for us to be accepted as a community in the mainstream.
No, I would say that anime fans are probably more accepted than other communities, especially if you look at the furries, for example. I know we had that video yesterday. But the furries have a little bit more of a bad track record than anime fans. And if the worst thing is just posting funny memes on the internet, if that's what people see, then I would hate to be them.
A few bad apples can kill an orchard, ladies and gentlemen, and we need to be able to, as a community, to distinguish what is real and what is fiction.
You know, after seeing a lot of the Twitch things happen and the gaming community have their own hashtag Me Too thing, I think that we would probably at some point have a anime version of that. Usually people that are supposed to try to act as though they're in the moral right, if you will, the morally correct, they usually end up being the people that they were speaking out against. The same way that if you look at some people that say that lolly anime is for pedos, usually they end up being pedos themselves. So that way they can kind of throw people off their trail. I think that at some point we may or may not see. I don't know. I'm not a magician here. I can't look into anything. I'm not a fortune teller. But I think that one day we'll probably have a story about our friend Joey here and weird things that he's done. I can see that being the case.
Because if we've truly gotten to the point where people in the community can't tell the difference or can't distinguish between reality and fiction, then yeah, maybe, you know what, anime was a mistake and it deserves to fucking die.
Just say you hate weebs, please, and move on.
But you know what, I'm just gonna leave this here. I'm not gonna talk about this anymore, because it's just getting on my fucking nerves the more I talk about it.
It's almost like he doesn't have anything really to add to this, and it's kind of looped around past the 10-minute mark, but we're just going to let that be a thing. Now, I've done a little bit of research on this besides the articles that we've already seen, and nothing really stands out to me that would make me believe that Weeb's bad, actually. I would say that it's pretty much across the board. It's not just that you see this happen. I think you guys can remember a certain case about Amber Heard. I don't know if you guys remember Amber Heard at all, or anything that she's pretty much done on the face of the earth. But I can promise you, it's not some good stuff. I promise you. So Amber Heard, she physically and mentally abused Johnny Depp. And do you know what happened? I know it's hard to believe, but people still made memes about it. I think even I made a meme about it, and I thought it was fucking hilarious because I ain't no bitch. I said it was about Symphogear actually. It was like a sparring sequence, and I said, you can call me Johnny Depp because I need these women to abuse me. I'm pretty sure that was a fun joke. A lot of people got it, and then some people name searched Johnny Depp, and then they found my tweet. They weren't very happy about it.
So, let's just leave it at that. I hope that this girl gets locked up in jail for however long she deserves to be locked up for, and I hope that the circumstances for this heinous crime really sends a message to all the dumb cunts out there who think that this whole act of being a yandere and almost committing a murder is okay or even considered attractive in the real world.
Again, he's tried to equate memes to real life and fiction to real life. So that's a thing that I kind of want to talk about as well. People that equate anime to real life. Whenever you see the argument of, like, oh, well, this character in this anime is underage, and so that incorporates everything that we know about the real world. That's incorrect. Or when people say that, well, the Ghostbusters were able to be a private organization, why can't we be one? Well, because it's fiction. And no one cares about that shit. It's literally a fucking different realm.
Things like this are not okay, and they're okay with staying in the pages of a book. They're okay with staying in our minds, but don't bring that shit out to reality. The one silver lining, though, I can say from all of this is that thankfully the large majority of people in the anime community and people outside of the anime community are saying how this is just a terrible and fucked up crime and that the girl deserves to be in jail. And there are actually a lot of people who are blasting said dumb shits who think that this girl is attractive or who think that her heinous acts were attractive or how I want to be stabbed in her toga cosplay is...
You know, he keeps bringing that one up a lot, but I haven't seen any of those comments. So did he make those up? Is this the straw man that he's bringing up? Maybe he came across one and it got filtered, because even if you go to like all of the pages of her cosplays, you don't really see that.
Considered okay. There are luckily a large group of people who are calling them out publicly on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube and stuff like that, and putting them in their fucking place and giving them a brain to actually use. So
we need to do that with you. We need to give you a brain, Joey. I think I'm pretty sure Joey has not ever experienced real people he's never actually talked to real people, and he only talks to his small group of AniTuber friends. And of course, they all watch these videos that I make too. They watch these live streams that I make. It's not a mystery. It's something that was well known to us at Anime Expo last year. I think that Joey never has a moment in his life actually done anything very proactive when it comes to the anime community. He simply milks them for views, and I guess that's a strategy.
At least we can say that there's at least a tiny bit of hope left in this humanity. But regardless, guys, let me know what you think about this whole thing in the comments below. Do you think that she does deserve to go to jail? Do you think that her acts are considered okay or even attractive?
But wasn't this whole video shaming those people? Why would we want to know their opinions? No one's saying that she did a good thing by stabbing him. Does he actually understand what people are upset about? Does he understand what he's upset about? Again, maybe I'm just taking him out of context here, but no one's saying that it's okay to stab people. And apparently he thinks that people think that it's okay. They're having a fucking giggle. He should know that. People actually have fun on the internet. And it's really, you can see it. You can see, if you ever go to any social media platform or anything like this, you can tell who has fun and who doesn't. And clearly the anime man does not have fun on the internet.
And do you think that this whole situation really is anime's fault?
Oh my god. So we're trying to blame anime. So he thinks that the media will take this as, is anime ruining things? But he's the asshole who brought it up. He's the one saying, do you think it's anime's fault? Let me know what you think in the comments. Like, no, it's not. It's not anime's fault. You're putting that in people's brains. This is essentially poisoning the well.
Like, do you honestly think this time, finally, it really was anime that kind of cracked her and pushed her across the surface?
Oh my god. This is like the weirdest. This is the weirdest fucking scapegoat I've ever heard. Now, like I said, I've seen this video like at least at a minimum 5 times. But each time I don't think that my brain can truly process how you can taint people into believing that it's anime's fault. He's really trying to push that part of it.
I'd love to know all your thoughts and opinions about all that kind of stuff, so make sure to let me know in the comments below. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. As always, like your favorite if you enjoy, subscribe.
Oh god, I'm not going to do any of that. That's literally so much outro. So it appears to me that Joey really thinks that it's the Animango's fault for everything, because that's what he harped on the most. And he also harped on Homegirl's cosplay here about being Toga and getting the stabby wabbies. I don't get it. Did he take some of these out of context? Because look, this is the cosplay that she did. Oh, sweetie, stop trying to defend a killer. Find something else to do than can the killer. It's weird. This whole thing is kind of just weird. You can't see a lot of the comments. Oh, Himiko Toga. I mean, she crazy, but she kind of cute though. They spell it with an I instead. But you can see who's memeing in the comments. It's not some weird big brain thing where it's, oh my god, they're being fucking weird about this. They're saying that she needed to stab that guy. No, actually they didn't. And it's kind of also weird that the anime man, also, if you just type in the anime man Yandere, you get a whole bunch of videos about him talking about Yandere and how he loves Yandere sometimes, maybe. I don't want to put it out there into the universe. Maybe I'm just taking him out of context. But it's pretty much right at this part here. If you go to his why do people find Yandere's attractive, you'll see.
Attractive. Now, don't get me wrong. I personally find Yandere's attractive too. And so I was kind of questioning myself when I was trying to answer this question. Like, why do I find Yandere girls attractive?
I'm not going to spoil it. I'm not going to spoil you guys on too much anime, man. I know how much you love him so much, but we'll just leave it at that for the day. So if you ever want to, catch up on your anime man history in the lore, it's pretty much there. You can just take it as you will. I'm just, taking him out of context, so it wouldn't be appropriate for me to say anything about it. So that's about all I really have for today. That's all there really is for this live stream. Yeah, you'll notice that Joey goes against himself a couple of times, but a lot of his fans will pretty much say, "Well, opinions change, man." Well, that's true. Opinions do change, but being a shithead on the internet, I guess, is a timeless classic. So, I guess that's all there really is to it today. I thought that maybe the anime man would have a little bit of self-reflection, but it's just out there. You can find it. If I go any further, then I'm sure that I'll be crucified for it. Maybe I'll get stabbed. Maybe I'll get the stabby wabbies. Who really knows? So I think that's all I really have for today. If you guys have anything else that you want to talk about on stream, I think that we could probably find something. Now I will tell you that last night, I was having a good old wow pow in my Discord server, and we came across a very strange individual called Sid Snap. If you know who that is, it is the Giguk person. It is his waifu, his actual real life wife. She is batshit insane, and we watched a couple of her videos. And boy, I wish I could tell you that I actually didn't want to oof myself, but boy, these videos don't inspire confidence. And it's something that I might make a video topic about why anitubers have to bring up hentai to stay relevant with the kids. No one cares about hentai this much. Hentai's cool, but oh no, there's a lot of clickbait. There's absolutely copious amounts of clickbait. The one that we watched that was clickbait was the I drank anime girl bathwater. I think that we can have a good stream just uh laughing at this. I think I could probably bring up the good example of this. It's she goes to porn shops and she's surprised that she finds items that are used in porn. It's very strange. But she she goes to porn shops and she buys anime girl bathwater and she drinks it and then she I wish I could tell you. I wish I could tell you that this was not clickbait, but she does drink the bathwater. It's part of the clickbait, but she spits it out like 5 seconds later. I'm just gonna spoil it for you. She spits it out really quick. She doesn't even drink any of it either. Uh oh my god. Yeah, she apparently she did say the ara ara for about an hour or something like that, which I guess is I guess that's a thing. But that may be on our next stream. We'll see if I can rummage through the rest of these very coherent videos of hers that are in no way made up. Then I think that we can have fun with it, even if it's not a serious stream. These don't have to be super serious, but it is what it is. Um, we might also at some point have a For Never World video stream thing. I don't know what we could really bring up about For Never World other than like he does things for obvious clickbait reasons, and he also calls his videos, his music, he calls his music a gift to the world. But we might have a roast stream about that at some point. I think we could do roast streams. Those sound like fun. Now that I'm thinking about it. But we probably won't have it later this week because I'm going to try to keep our live streams down to once a week. But trust me, there's not a lot that you can really do when it comes in the regards of For Never World and talking about animangos, particularly the shonen stuff. There's a couple of bad videos in there, but I think if I really wanted to get into the lore of For Never World, it would take a long time. So just just know that that's a thing that's coming down the pipeline at some point. The only other thing that I guess I can kind of shill out is my Twitch, which if you guys aren't there yet, you should go follow me on the twitch.tv and also give me your subs because over there I think we're one point away from getting another emote slot, which is I guess it's kind of important, but the way that Twitch is going, it's probably not the best idea. So we'll take what we can actually get. But we may bring another Twitch video out at some point. So I'm gonna leave you guys to the rest of your Tuesday. and I hope you guys have a good one. And by the way, do the 5. I keep forgetting almost every stream. I think I did it the last one, but do the 5 so that way you don't catch Corona because we're having an uptick. So and I'm going to change some of the stuff here around as well. So if you do become a member of this channel, we're going to have our Scarlet Symphony podcast stuff be over here, so that way we can do some like after the stream kind of stuff, and it'll be like a happy hour, if you will. It'll be a happy hour drinking thing. So if we're not already inebriated by the time that we start streaming, then we definitely will be at the end of it. So you guys be safe.